Hello, my name is Junghun Oh. The first author of the paper, Batch Normalization tells you which filter is important. The other authors are Heewon Kim, Sungyong Baik, Cheeun Hong, and Kyoung Mu Lee. We are studying about efficient neural network in the computer vision lab in Seoul National University. Now I will introduce our paper. The main research topic of our paper is filter pruning. The goal of filter pruning is to find redundant filters in a convolutional neural network and remove them for an efficient neural network as illustrated in the figure. As one of the branches in the filter pruning method, metric-based method propose a metric to measure the relative importance of each filter in a pre-trained network. Filter weight-based metric utilize the filter weight to measure its importance. This filter weight-based metric is easy to use, but they ignore other operations such as activation function and normalization layer, which can have more direct impact on the performance. And data-dependent metric obtain meaningful statistics from data such as gradients or activation values, which have more direct impact on the network performance. Thus, the data-dependent metric is more accurate than the filter weight-based metric, but they are hard to use due to the data-dependent computations. In our paper, we propose BNFI, which means batch normalization tells you which filter is important. BNFI considers the impact of batch normalization layers and activation functions, but does not require any data-dependent computations, which combine the strengths of the previous method. This is possible because BNFI can estimate the importance in terms of the batch normalization parameters in a pre-trained network. Now I will elaborate on BNFI. First, I will briefly explain about the batch normalization layer. Batch normalization layer consists of two operations, normalization and affine transformation. Here I indicates the channel-wise index. First, the input is normalized, which results in a normalized input with a mean of 0 and standard deviation of 1. Then the normalized input is transformed by the trainable parameters gamma and beta. Our method starts with an assumption that the distribution of the normalized input follows the Gaussian distribution. By the property of Gaussian distribution, the output of the batch normalization layer can be described by the Gaussian distribution with the mean of beta I and the standard deviation of gamma I. Typically, the batch normalization layer is followed by a nonlinear activation layer. Since we can describe the output of batch normalization layer in terms of gamma and beta, the distribution of activation values can also be estimated by gamma and beta. For examples, if the activation function is ReLU, the resulting distribution becomes a truncated Gaussian distribution. Finally, we propose a novel data-independent metric, which can consider the impact of activation function and batch normalization layer by only using the pre-trained batch normalization parameters. We define the filter importance as the expectation of absolute activation values. To validate the effectiveness of BNFI, we prune a pre-trained network with different importance measure and compare the performance degradation of the resulting pruned network. The left figure visualizes the importance mapping in a pre-trained MobileNet V2. And the right figure demonstrates that BNFI can find unimportant or important filters better than the existing metric-based method. We also compare BNFI with the existing batch normalization-based metric. These results show that BNFI is better criterion than the other metrics, which means we better take advantages of the pre-trained batch normalization parameters for measuring filter importance. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions about our paper, feel free to contact us.